What is going on YouTube? So you've heard everybody saying it. Pretty soon you will own nothing and you will love it. You like it or whatever you want to say. Recently, so Sony's been in hot water already with stuff that's going on over the UK, where they're basically were monopolizing their digital content and stuff like that, making it so you had to buy the games through them digitally and stuff like that. And then not only that, they were upcharging basically a lot of people and monopolizing it. Well, now there was just a big old blast, big old bomb that was dropped on everybody. As you can see here, we're just going to jump right into it. Dear PlayStation customer, as of December 31st, due to our content licensing agreements with content providers, you will no longer be able to watch any of your previously purchased Discovery content, and your content will be removed from your video library. Click here for the full list of affected titles that will no longer be supported. So I pulled this one up just to show you, to give you guys kind of an idea of what shows is actually on Discovery Plus, which is a lot. They sent hundreds on here, even thousands. So it's shows like Animal Planet Presents, Cake Boss, Deadliest Catch, American Chopper, How It's Made, Mythbusters, and a bunch more. Here's the actual list that pulls up. And this is the legal update status from the actual Sony website. So this is not like, you know, a lot of people were talking about, us YouTubers, specifically like me, Gaming Off the Grid, and a lot of these other guys talking about how pretty soon here physical media will be gone and you'll be forced to buy digitally. And then we were going over the risks of digital purchasing. But this, if you have a PlayStation now, you have Discovery Plus, and you have purchased these shows and stuff like that, they're going to be gone. And the worst part about it is there's nothing you can do about it. You can't back it up anywhere. You can't hide it somewhere. It's not going to stay in your library. Sony is going to remove it. They're going to just take it out of there. So there's nothing to... Everything you... Basically, they're going to take from you what you purchased. They're going to steal it from you. And as of right now, there's no lawsuits. There's no way to stop this. Like Gaming Off the Grid said, this is the wild, wild west. This is all new. So there's really no laws and stuff to really protect against this. So we're going to go into why this is scary, because I mean the obvious part about why this is scary for anybody that owns digital stuff is you purchase this, you have it on your storage, they can go into your PlayStation now and just remove this. So what's to stop them from down the road doing stuff like that with your digital games, your digital recordings, and stuff like that? You can, if they really wanted to, let's say you recorded that gameplay of beating God of War Ragnarok, and you were so proud of it, you wanted to showcase it and hold it forever. And let's just say all of a sudden their servers are too full and they decide, well, we're going to start deleting people's stuff. They can go through and remove your stuff that you have saved on there. As long as it's digitally on there and not off somewhere else, you know, like on your computer or stuff like that, they can remove it from your PlayStation. So what's to say that's not going to happen here pretty soon with video games and stuff? Like I said, it's the wild, wild west. You can't do nothing about it. What happens if Sony gets in a fight with Ubisoft, gets in a fight with Naughty Dog, or those companies decide to go exclusive to Microsoft, decide to go to exclusive, you know, only to Nintendo and stuff like that, and then Sony, you know, gets in a fight with them and they just lose all their contracts. And yeah, Sony would then be able to go into your PlayStation and delete the game and delete all rights that you have to owning it. So I know a lot of you have heard that so much lately. You will own nothing and you will like it. And that's really what comes down to, is because you don't physically own, you don't own the game. You own the licensing to the game when you purchase it, and you are, So that's what the scary part about this, guys. Now, I'm not one of those advocates that thinks that digital is the worst thing in the world. Physical gatekeeping is the way to go and blah, blah, blah. But I'm just saying is we got to make sure that we are still supporting physical media, because of stuff like this could happen. If we go completely digital, like I said, the issues going on with the monopoly of the digital games over in the UK and stuff could start going all over to everybody else. And just think that, because who knows, you bought maybe a bunch of good deals. I mean, you see the digital sales going crazy. You bought a bunch of those TV shows on Discovery Plus, though, thinking you'd have it forever on your PlayStation. Even down the road, if there's a PlayStation 8 out or something like that, you'd still be able to, well, I'm going to watch my show on my PS5 or whatever. Nope, it's gone. And nothing you can do about it. Like I said, I don't know specifically if you have a Discovery Plus on something else and you have an account set up that you can just watch it on that. But as of on your PlayStation, which most of us have as a media hub in our households, like down here, I use mine for Blu-rays. I use mine for listening to music, everything down here in my game room. Everybody uses them as a hub. What if they remove them and you cannot do that? Then you're forced to buy a Roku. You're forced to buy that. And then, like I said, even my wife, who's not so sure about this stuff, she said, well, isn't that stealing? And it really is. I mean, you purchased that. How can they just remove it from your library? So just going on, this was an article with IGN, and we'll just go over the basics of this. I don't want to bore you guys with all the extreme details. But even right here, the decision sparked a backlash. Okay. There follows a long list of affected video content, which includes over 1,000 shows that we just talked about. Through the Wormhole with Morgan Freeman, Tank Mythbusters, and An Idiot Aboard. This decision has sparked backlash online, obviously. We all know why, because you're just taking our stuff, piracy and everything like that. But the issue of the content removal from the digital platforms is top of the mind of movie and TV makers too. Last month, Oscar winner filmmaker Guillermo del Toro, I can never say this right, backed Oppenheimer director Christopher Nolan and championed by physical media amid controversial moves by streamers that have been seen have said that some films been pulled from availability. They're making these films, guys, and then they're worried too that on top of this, with all this digital stuff going on, they're going to lose out on money too. Their companies are going to start monopolizing digital media. They're going to not be paying them as much for all this work that they've done. And then on top of that, they're going to turn around and charge us, the consumers, a lot more money amid of not paying them. Going down here. So this was the official tweet, which we just looked over. Some other options. Let's see here. All right, so let's see. This was from Pepsi Man, X360. Calling them out. I'm expecting a full refund for all my purchases immediately. I purchased all these TV shows on your platform, and you're removing my purchased content. Same with here. Wild. If you purchased any of these titles via PlayStation, they're going to disappear soon, and too bad for you. Buying digital media is simply renting with an open-ended expiration date. They can and take it from you if they feel like it. If I only played PlayStation, I'd be really concerned about all this digital future. This is bad, and it's crazy no one is talking about this. Well, Sony, as much as I love the company, and I'm not, I'm not a specific fanboy, but I've been playing so much, Sony. I've been playing so much PlayStation lately that this really kind of is gut-wrenching to see. Now, I personally don't buy digital movies and stuff like that really ever. I'm just partially part of streaming services. Otherwise, a lot of times I just watch YouTube. So I just watch, my fellow channels and stuff like that on YouTube. So I don't really watch too much on streaming. But what scares me is when this crosses over into the video game, video game media. I've had people lately hounding me on a couple of videos trying to, debate with me whether or not this is going to be, that this is just, they're fear-mongering. This is not going to happen. But these comments were made before posts like this started coming out. So you people that have commented that in the past, I mean, look at it now. Do you not see that pretty soon? Somebody complained to me that they would not get rid of physical media because they would lose too much money. And I wanted to point them in the directions of the articles of Walmart, Best Buy, and places like that are talking about now getting rid of physical media. They're not going to be selling DVDs anymore. They're not going to be selling video games. Physical media is gone from these banned retailers. Pretty soon you will be forced to either buy from GameStop or, Amazon. That's going to be your only sources of buying physical media. And after so long of that, they're going to get rid of that too. It's only a matter of time, guys. I say 10 years down the road maybe or so, maybe sooner it seems like, we'll have physical media down to short supply. It'll just be a niche thing to get, and most people will just be happy with buying digital media, I guess. So So I just wanted to do a video today, quick talking about my fears with this. A big thank you to fellow YouTubers and fellow Iowans Gaming Off the Grid for being very conscious about stuff like this and sharing it with not only the YouTubers but the world. They were one of the first few people that I've seen, last year that really started sparking up the debate about this. And then I, of course, jumped on because I love physical media, and I do not like to be forced to buy digital games. Like with the same with Baldur's Gate 3. Now I know people have been telling me lately there is going to be a physical release coming soon for Baldur's Gate 3. I understand that, but I wanted to play it when it first came out, and I was forced to buy a digital copy because I didn't know that they were going to release it later on. And it was the same with God of War Ragnarok. I was forced to buy God of War Ragnarok digitally because none of my retailers around here were keeping it in stock fast enough. So with that being said, like I said, those are two games I own. What if down the road Microsoft buys God of War and they tell them, hey, you need to take this off of Sony, and then Sony just removes it from my library? Just crazy, guys. I can go on and probably talk for this for about for a while now. But with that being said, I want to know what you guys think about this in the comments below. Do you actually have Discovery Plus on your PlayStation? And if not, have you thought about doing stuff like this before, where you're buying these digital shows, not thinking nothing of it, and then here we go. I mean, we've talked about one of the big things that I think people are thinking is going to happen is Discovery Plus is going to be starting their own app or their own streaming service, and they're pulling their shows from here and stuff like that to make it so you have to watch it on their app or their streaming service, which in that case it is not technically Sony's fault. I'm not saying, that Sony is completely wrong in this. I'm just saying it's wrong that they're going to be going into our libraries and deleting those videos, because for all we know, Discovery Plus is pulling from them and will sue them or something if they keep this content available. So hopefully they'll start issuing out refunds. Like I said, I don't personally own any shows off of this, but what they're doing is messed up. So yeah, I want to hear what you guys think about this in the comments below. Make sure you comment, and also if you can think about what is your favorite show that was available on Discovery Plus. I know I personally loved like American Pickers and stuff like that, and I think that was one of the shows featured in that was going to be removed. Maybe not. I don't see it on this list. That might be a different one, but yeah, I personally loved American Pickers, and a long time ago we used to watch American Chopper. So alright guys, so as always, stay retro my friends, and I will see you in the next video.